Ben McCollum and the Iowa basketball team are starting to get results in the transfer portal. In addition to star guard Bennett Sturts, a trio of McCollum's former players are coming to Iowa, including guard Cale Combs, forward Cam Maniow, and guard Isaiah Howard. On the other hand, Seydou Traore became the latest Hawk to enter his name into the transfer portal. McCollum will continue to fill out the roster in the coming weeks. Sinju Berry and the Iowa softball team prepare for a 3-game series this weekend against number 20 ranked Nebraska. Berry was recently announced as the 14th ranked shortstop in the country by Softball America, currently batting .380 this season and leading the Hawkeyes with 8 home runs and 23 RBI. Zooming out to the matchup as a whole, the Hawks are 21-12, looking to rid themselves of a 3-game losing streak stemming from their series against Wisconsin last weekend. Nebraska is 26-9 and had a 6-game winning streak snapped by Purdue on Monday. New month, same Hawkeyes. That's what the Iowa baseball team hopes remains true as they begin their first series of April. On a 4-game win streak, Iowa beat the Bradley Braves 13-3 in 7 innings via mercy rule, and their opponents, the Northwestern Wildcats, are coming off a narrow 2-1 win over UIC, but that pales in comparison to their 22-11 loss against Maryland last weekend. This weekend should see a lot of offensive firepower.
First pitch takes it for a strike. Living up to the Gable name because of his grandfather being Dan Gable, a guy who's very storied here at the university, leading the wrestling team to 15 national championships in his time here, kind of establishing Iowa as a marquee program in men's college wrestling. The women's team also pretty good. Dan Gable doesn't have an influence there, but I'm sure just Iowa being the wrestling university has to have some kind of draw.
Being Wrestletown, USA for sure.
So now 1-1 to Mitchell as he digs in, really crowding the plate there. Standing from the left side, thought about a bunt, pulled it back, but not in time, and he's not too happy about the call. 1-2.
Danny Heimer testing this Iowa offense early. Very surprised. Like I said, only 1 inning pitch so far this year for him. So far, he's been doing an excellent job.
The 1-2 to Mitchell, fouls that one off. First souvenir of the home season, as that one's going to escape the park and make it into the parking lot down the left field line. Slight shift on for the defense here. Mitchell, a pull hitter, takes that one just low. Good eye from Mitchell. Will go 2-2.
Gable Mitchell's had some very good splits this year. .349 batting average. He's started in every game so far for these Hawkeyes, trying to get this offense started.
The 2-2 swings on that one and drives it into the gap in right center. Mitchell thinking about 2, and he's going to pull back on it. About a quarter of the way towards second base. Goes back, but starts off the first Hawkeye hit of the game with a single. Next up, Reese Moore coming to the plate for the Hawkeyes. I recognize this walk-up song from last year, doing a couple of games for the photo side.
2 home runs for Moore already this season. Does he have another one in him, Ryan?
We shall see. There's a couple of power bats on the Hawks in this middle portion of the lineup. First pitch outside. Oh, does get the call, though. Really working the edges, expanding the zone.
I know you were talking about how you have not been able to call a home run yet. I'm hoping that this could be it.
Throw over to first base there. Check up on Mitchell taking a big lead. I've not gotten an Iowa home run. I got one over the summer with a local team, and I had another one where I was doing color at the moment, so. Reese Moore going to poke that one towards third bases. It's going to get through all the way towards left field. Mitchell's going to stay at second, and Reese Moore gets aboard the Hawks. Got something going here in the first.
A quick slight error by the third baseman for Loris. Advances the runners, and now we have my guy, my click of the game, Caleb Wolf, who has been tearing it up so far for these Hawkeyes. .469 batting average to start the season through 10 games.
Yeah, Caleb Wolf, he's just really taken this program by storm, been a key offensive piece. They've got a lot of good hitters towards the top of this lineup. First pitch swung on and driven right into the gap. Same place where Mitchell's was. This is going to score Gable Mitchell. Reese Moore's going to third. The throw is cut off by the shortstop, and they have no play. Gable Mitchell walks on home, and it's an RBI single for Caleb Wolf as he adds to his great start to the season.
That is his 9th RBI of the season already in only 11 games. What an incredible start by Caleb Wolf and these Hawkeyes here today. 1-0 already.
Last year's game against Loris was 20-6. The Hawkeyes ended up winning that one. That was their home opener last year, too, if I remember correctly. I watched a bit of that one on TV, and then when it was about 10-0, I was like, okay.
Yeah, Iowa once led by 15 that game, Ryan, you informed me on our way over here. So we'll see how today goes.
Already a promising start. Taken strike one by Jackson Beeman. This is the power hitter on the Hawkeyes this season so far. Beeman going to put one towards short, and that one's also going to make it through just a little bit in front of the defense. Reese Moore scores on that single, and the Hawks getting a bit of a hit parade going together as they've got Wolf at second and now Beeman at first. From beyond the arc in the first half, if he can start to find that shot, that could be the key for Minnesota to break through, build on that lead, and potentially make an insurmountable one. But as we get ready to go, it's Josh Dix to inbound it, and Brock Harding will take it up.
Looks like all the starters will come out to open up this half.
This is Drew Thelwell now. Top of the key, switches towards Sanford, out to the corner to Dix. Guarded by Odukale. Dix driving. He's got multiple people right on him. Kicks it out to an open Thelwell. Pulls it from range. And just off again, the Hawkeyes still can't get the three-pointer to fall.
And again, Drew has not necessarily lit up the stat sheet tonight. Just 2 points on 5 attempts. But he's been everywhere defensively. If he can find his stroke and start picking up some points for the Hawkeyes, that would be huge.
This is an Iowa team that has allowed a lot of points on average in a game as Mitchell pulls one from three and bags it. Mike Mitchell just said he needed to start finding it and hits his second three-pointer of the night.
Yeah, we highlighted him in the pregame along with Garcia, and he is an absolute gamer. When he gets the ball in his hand, he can find the open spot. He can go to work and make his guy really break his ankles and find an open shot himself.
We got a whistle here.
Foul called on number 0, Frank Mitchell.
Looks like Frank Mitchell going to get called right there, so Hawks will inbound it from under the hoop.
Only a couple of points for Mitchell in that first half on just one field goal.
Harding into Sanford. Floats one. Still won't go. Rebound brought in by Garcia.
And again, Sanford hasn't had a whole ton of success on the baseline tonight. He keeps trying to go back to that shot in the paint and try to get physical. This Minnesota team just has the size advantage on the Hawkeyes tonight.
This is Patterson, flips to Odukale, now corner. Garcia pulls it from three. Oh, he's on right now. Dawson Garcia, his second.
Back-to-back threes for the Gophers as they extend their lead to 10.
Floater won't go right there. And once again, Minnesota comes away with the ball. This time it's Odukale taking up the court. No shortage options. Mitchell pulls it from way downtown. Won't go. Rebound Harding. Now Sanford the other way. Met by Odukale. Kicks to Josh Dix. Drives inside. Dix all the way to the cup, and he's fouled.
And Josh Dix has just been defined as a pro this season. He's had some massive games, and he can do things like that. He started his drive from basically the left wing, a couple steps back, and once he took a step towards the paint, he just floated to the basket and drew that foul. Josh Dix is going to make an NBA team very happy one day.
Misses the first free throw there. Uncharacteristic. One of the best free throw shooters on the team and in the country.
Yeah, came in with an 87% free throw percentage. 20 for 23.
Second one right through. So down to a 9-point lead, but Minnesota touched 10, and that was the biggest it's been all game. This is Odukale taking it up. He's got Price Sanford on him now. That's big Frank Mitchell on the ball. Flips back to Odukale. Kicks. Looking in the options. Patterson and Dix gets in there again, but it's going to stay with Minnesota.
And that is one thing that I will give credit to the Hawkeyes for tonight. A lot of second chance opportunities for Minnesota, but they are clogging up those passing lanes, especially Drew Thelwell getting in there, getting his fingers on the ball, not making any pass easy, and right there, Josh Dix just tipped that one out.
So it's Patterson on the Mediacom logo, driving. Sanford on him. Now Garcia flips to Mike Mitchell Jr., who loses the ball. Trouble for it. Jump ball called.
And you can see the defense starting to notch up here early in this second half. Those 2 3-pointers from Minnesota, now the Hawkeyes really trying to battle and force Minnesota to use all the shot clock they can.
3.7 for the inbound pass here for Mitchell. He's got options, tries to get out to Mitchell, the other Mitchell, Frank Mitchell, that one off his hands, out of bounds, and the Hawkeyes will take over. Lucy Olson has been on a tear throughout the month of February, averaging 25.6 points per game and leading the Hawks to a 4-1 record in their last 5 games, entering the contest against number 3 ranked UCLA. But on Pink Out Day, Olson was playing for a little bit more, donning "My Mom" on the back of her jersey. The annual Pink Out game for Iowa basketball is meant to raise awareness for breast cancer and celebrate its survivors, like Olson's mom, who defeated the disease twice.
So she made it out. It was super special. Yeah, got to share that moment with her. I know she was excited.
Against the Bruins, she was held to just 17 points, but provided the crowd with a lot to cheer for. It started with a buzzer-beating 3 to end the first quarter, bringing the deficit down to just 2 points, and continued with another buzzer beater at the end of the second quarter. And down the stretch, Olson buried each of her 3 free throws from the stripe to tie the game. But with 3 seconds left, disaster struck for Olson and the Hawks.
That was like, all right, you hit the free throw, so we're going to win this game. I think everyone kind of felt that momentum. And then the foul, I just got caught on the screen.
With one more chance, the Hawks were unable to get the ball into Olson's hands and came up short on the final look. Despite the loss, Olson continues to stack together big performances in what has been her best month of the season. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, Ryan Paris, DITV Sports. In the post-Caitlin Clark world, the Iowa women's basketball team is looking to establish the future of the program. That hope falls on an exciting class of freshmen that includes point guard Aaliyah Guyton. Guyton leads all freshmen in Iowa this season with 16.1 minutes per game and 4.9 points per game. She regularly comes off the bench and runs the offense for the Hawks, but there's more to her story than just how she plays on game day. Guyton carries a family legacy with her on the court every time she takes the floor. Guyton grew up traveling as her mother Adriana played for the Brazilian national team in 5 Olympic Games, for the Phoenix Mercury, and overseas.
I first moved to Russia when I was 1. My mom was playing, and then from then on we were just going from like country to country, place to place, and I was just always in the gym with my mom.
And Guyton's father AJ set program records as a 4-year starter at Indiana and was drafted by the Chicago Bulls at the top of the 2nd round in the 2000 NBA draft. He played in the NBA and then also overseas before coming back home to coach collegiate basketball.
My dad finally had a conversation with me in 6th grade about, working towards something and getting something out of basketball, which would be going to college and getting an education.
Guyton realized those dreams and has become a vocal leader for the Hawks as a true freshman.
As a competitor, it's the next one. Okay, we missed it. We got to get that stop. I think Aaliyah is wise beyond her years with that.
Guyton has laid the foundation for a successful career here in the Iowa basketball program and will only continue to grow from here. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, Ryan Paris, DITV Sports.